Hi, this is DJ Tina. On the phone with me today is Vancouver's based Edges of Seven. Hi, Rob. How are things?
Doing pretty good. How you doing over there?
Great. It's a hot day here.
Not so much on the West Coast.
In Ontario, it's just steaming hot.
That's what I heard. Yeah, we got overcast in Vancouver right now.
I'm lucky I got the air conditioning on. We got central air, so it's nice and cool in here.
Well, hopefully I can have something like that in use this summer if the weather permits.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working on any new material currently?
Yeah, there's basically I'm constantly working on new material. It's as far as the band goes, we've got about 4 or 5 new songs we're adding into our set right now, and progressively getting a little heavy now as well.
Can you tell us about your latest CD release, Born Again Hard? Anything from messages to inspirations?
Basically, well, first of all, for the title of the album, we actually got that from Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, the line in the movie, and the songs were, a couple of them were songs that I had written when I first started the band back in 2000, and from anywhere from, like, as far as band influences, from like 9 Inch Nails to Filter to Metallica to Rob Zombie to Manson, that sort of thing. We just wanted to put a good heavy kind of influence, like a heavy metallic influence, but include a lot of electronic in there, that kind of thing that we wanted to hear. So each song has its own kind of story.
Sorry to hear about the news about Edges of Seven's loss, Ryan Smith. How is everyone doing now?
Everyone's doing quite well, actually, because it'll be about 2 years ago in August. I think it was August 2nd, August 3rd, I'm not really sure of the date. But it was hard. It was quite a blow to the band and quite a setback, especially for Jay, the drummer, because he and Ryan were best friends, and Ryan put so much into the band, and so yeah, that was one of the biggest blows I think any band could kind of deal with. But because Ryan loved it so much, he would have wanted to keep going on, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty proud up there listening to what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about the current lineup now?
Yeah, we actually we went through a time of trying to find a new bass player, and over time we ended up finding a new bass player and guitar player, and added so we are now a 6-piece, whereas before we were just a 5. And so now with myself, Rob Takacs on vocals, we have Jay Hagan, who used to be with Frontline Assembly, on drums. Corey Hunt is our keyboardist programmer, and guitars we have Mark Santa Catarina and Carmelo Brzezzi, and new bass player Steve Booth. So 6 pieces now, and we got kind of that Rammstein thing going on.
Cool. Do you have any video production in the works for 2008 in your new re-release?
Yeah, actually that's what we're doing, kind of focusing on right now, is the video for, we're probably going to do the video for the first song on the album, called Future Truth. And while it's not necessarily the first single, is because this will be our first video, it's kind of an experimental kind of thing. So we'll probably be doing, it's in the works right now, and we'll probably be shooting it next month.
Curious, who writes your songs?
That would be me, for the most part. I write the bulk of the material, but what happens is I'll put a song together, and then I'll give it to the rest of the guys, and they'll kind of put their own thing into it. And especially Jay and Corey put a significant improvement. So by the time the song's in its finished state, it's predominantly changed from what it originally was. So I kind of put the tree up, and everybody else decorates it.
What do you express in your lyrical content?
It depends. Anything from something totally nonsensical to, like, say, our song Subnormal, which really has no real lyrical meaning whatsoever, to a song like Future Truth, which is essentially has a deeper meaning about being in control of your own destiny, that sort of thing.
Does the band mix, record, and master their own music, or do they have an engineer to help them?
Oh, we definitely had an engineer because we produced it ourselves, and we were there for the entire process, of course, Jay and myself for the most part. But Tim Newhouse at Ear Art Productions, or Ear Art Studios here in Delta, did the engineering and did a fantastic job. So we control most of the production ourselves, but for engineering, we like to have somebody else turning the knobs.
What's a typical day like for Edges of Seven in the recording studio?
Well, we'll get there as soon as everybody can possibly haul their asses out of bed, and get there about 10 or 11 o'clock, and basically there for as long as it takes to get whatever we need done. So it's usually like 12 to 14-hour days, even longer sometimes. If things are really going well and you kind of lose track of time, we've been there from 10 in the morning to about 2 or 3 the next morning.
Wow. What are your live performances like, and is there any pyrotechnical effects showcased in your live gigs?
Not yet, but that's something hopefully when we get to like a touring situation and more of a headlining situation that we can include that, because right now I think there's a lot of fire codes and everything in most of the clubs in Vancouver that prohibit that sort of thing, especially since the Great White incident a few years back. But yeah, right now, as far as live shows go, we want to get increase the lighting effects and everything, but that again depends on budget restraints and how creative we can get with what we have.
Do you sell CDs and merchandise at your live shows?
Oh yeah, we have a merch booth set up, so that's where most of our CD sales seem to come from. So we have CDs, shirts, and even thongs that the women seem to be pretty impressed with, and a lot of posters and 8x10s, and which of course we do all the graphic work ourselves, so it's all pretty well self-sufficient.
Any upcoming tours planned for 2008 to promote Edges of Seven re-release Born Again Hard?
That's something we're hoping to do. We were hoping to have it this summer, and maybe late in the latter half of the summer we might go down to the States there for a bit, or possibly across Canada. It's kind of in the planning stages right now, but hopefully by the end of the summer, like latter half, August perhaps.
How does your latest re-release Born Again Hard differ from your previous albums?
Actually, it's our debut album, and it was released, we recorded it in 2006, and it was released last year on iTunes and eMusic, Rhapsody, and a bunch of other online services, and of course on CD Baby as well. And so it was a labor of love. Is like we put so much into it, everything we had, and now we're kind of looking forward to starting the next album.
Who are your main musical influences?
Personally, I grew up on stuff like Kiss and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and then as my taste progressed, especially throughout the late 90s, I got more into the electronic side of things and combining it with what I was originally into. So, like I was saying earlier, like Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Filter, Ministry, Prodigy, that sort of thing. But, of course, old school Metallica will always be there as well.
Okay, before we wrap up our interview, I have questions from Liquid Silver. She's from our Hollywood Music TV Street Team, and she's also part of Sonaza's Street Team. Mm-hmm. And her questions are, is Monkey coming to your shows?
Actually, Monkey from Korn, it's funny because our manager, Will Carlin, is Korn's former manager. So Monkey came out to one of a show we did last September, and then when a few of us were Korn's guests at their show the next night in Vancouver. So hopefully next time we get out there and play sometime in Vancouver, if he heads up here again, he'll hopefully come out and check us out again.
Her next question is, did Edges of Seven open for the band Helmet?
Yep, September 24th, I believe it was, and at the Red Room here in Vancouver, and that's the show that Monkey actually came out to. So that was quite an experience that night. We got a good. We weren't sure what kind of reaction we were going to get from the crowd, but it was great, and it was a packed house and one of our best shows, I think.
Liquid Silver's last question is, how was your recent radio play with Forbidden?
That was not bad. It's kind of hard. I don't know how many people tune into that as it stands. I think it's still kind of building, and we got a few friend requests on MySpace from it and some good comments. But from what I see, there's like a live chat going on when that's happening, and I think people are more interested in talking about Christina Dolce's breasts than they are about the music being played. I think what everybody band is trying to get on is because she has, Forbidden on MySpace has like over 1.6 million friends, so that's a huge marketing thing for any band. Mm-hmm. I think that's what the bands are trying to get to, and but I don't know, she's promoted some. She hasn't really pushed out too much, but there's other ways to go about it. But it's a cool thing for her to do regardless.
What are your web URLs so fans can access your music and buy Edges of Seven merchandise through the internet?
Best one to go on is our MySpace page, which is of course myspace.com/edges of seven, and it's the word 7. Or our official site, which is just www.edgesof7.com. Those are the two main ones, and from there's links to various other little places on the web that we permeate. Okay.
Any last words?
Just wanted to thank you very much for the interview, and just for everybody out there who's listening, check us out again, myspace.com/edgesof7. Add us, check the stuff out, and we'd love to hear from everybody, and hopefully see you guys on tour in the very near future.
For sure. Thank you, Rob, for allowing our E-Zine to interview Edges of Seven. You rock.
Thank you very much. You guys rock, too.
Thank you.